Hello, hello. We're here with another Creator Insights video. We're back on Motuni Island with Shay, and this time during the day, just to give you another feel. And so, yeah, we'll just ask Shay some questions about her island and hear how she came up with everything. So, hi, Shay.
Hi.
this you yeah, thanks so much for having me back. I was stunned during the tour. I just kept yelling at the screen. um, it's really, yeah, just so beautiful. um, do you describe your island as having a specific theme? If so, how would you describe that?
That's been like a running joke, I feel like, because anytime someone asks me, I'm just like, I don't know what my island is. The
It's
only thing that's been,
everything.
yeah, the only thing that's been consistent is that I've been dropping water a lot of places. So I'm like, it's just water. It's water with a little bit of everything.
Yeah, okay. And I mean, that was number one thing that I wanted to ask you was about the water, because I think you have some of the most epic and stunning waterscaping I've ever seen. So, talk us through how you started that, like how do you approach
Yeah.
it? I have so many questions. Just, yeah.
Okay. Let me see. I'm just gonna look at the map first. So like when I first I like started redoing my island back in May, and okay, so this area that I'm taking you to now, this is like the only thing that like stayed from when I reconstructed.
Ooh, I'm
And
sorry. I was looking at your map and I lost you. Where did you go?
oh, no worries, right?
Oh, okay. I found you. Yes, keep going.
So this area was like the first thing that I did, and it was like it's the only thing that stayed since I redone my island. And initially, it was only three houses here, and I don't know what I was feeling one day, but I was just like, I want water here, and I was like, looked at some people online, and it was like, okay, they just look like they've just dropped the houses and just started making water around them, and that's kind of what I did for this area. I didn't
Mm,
really have a plan initially. Like Stitch's house is like a newer addition, but I think I dropped. I don't know at the time. It might have been all these villages are different now, but I dropped these three houses here, and I kind of just I think I worked with this area first, built this
mhm,
little waterfall, and then I was just like, okay, how do you get this to like seem natural or like have like these nice little edges? I think
mhm.
that's like the hardest part is like it's really just a trial and error because like I will take it, I'll like start doing something. I'm like, okay, this doesn't like break out the way that I want it to. Instead of just having like, I feel like it always has to have some kind of like jagged edge. Otherwise, it's
Mm.
going straight for a long time. And then if it straights and then it curves, I'm always just like, oh, let me redo this. And so when I made this area, I was just like, okay, I'm feeling this. I like this water. And then I think that's when I was just like, all right, I'm going to just try to add more water everywhere and see what happens. Um,
Mhm.
and my friend, she used to come to my island. She's like, "Why are you adding more water and more water?" She's like, "This is just water." And I'm just like, "I don't know. I like how it is." And like the biggest project, the one that took me the longest, was like my the intro, like the opening area,
Mhm. Yeah.
because it started off just with like this like right half,
Mhm.
and once I got that together, I was like, okay, I have a circular, but now I want to add more water here. And so I opened up this entire area. I think this entire area was closed off when I first started to
Mm.
do it. I don't really ever have like a huge plan. I might have something that I base something off of, and then from there I will just start uh, going into construction mode and just trying out.
Yeah, yeah, that's incredible. I think yeah, I mean, it sounds like it took you some time, so I'm not going to claim that you just went and created this immediately, but it just seems like you have such a knack for it and talent because like what you're saying, like I think a lot of paths can end up looking a bit straight, and how you've done it so that it feels so natural, but yet like definitely is a clear path and works around the houses is just, yeah, amazing.
I think
Really, really impressive.
when I made that first village, I was like, all right, I want to do this somewhere else, but like obviously I was like, I don't have enough room, or I didn't want to like I didn't know where I could do so many houses.
Mm-hmm.
So I originally this museum wasn't even here, but I just dropped that museum there. But I was like, I put them on the second level, and I think the second house area was much harder because I had like no idea what I was going to how I was going to arrange the water. I just dropped all these houses here, and I was like, I'm just going to have to make the water around it, and that's how this
Challenge.
house ended up. That's how this house ended up in a spiral. And I was like, one day I was just like looking at it, and I was like, what did I do? But
Oh, so that wasn't planned because it's super cool. I mean, that's, I feel this is the iconic Shay scene.
yeah,
Um,
see where you are right now, it actually it used to be, let me see, there was a path where you are kind of that went to where I am,
mm-hmm.
and I really wasn't feeling it. I was like, why do I have like one path of water going to Marshall's house and then another path going over there? And so because of that, I like cut that one day, and I was like, oh, their house is connected. That's not bad. And then I looked afterwards, and I was like, oh, okay.
It looks
Um,
great.
didn't mean to make it, but yeah. So I
Yeah.
think I think the biggest thing is like trial and error, and like just it's opening that app is it's a lot, like the Island Designer app, but if you just play around with like the curves of everything, I feel like you can make some magic out of it.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And so I guess, yeah, just, I mean, in general, what is your design process? Does it start with the terraforming, or how do you go about it?
Usually it starts with the terraforming. So like I think I'm thinking of like the entrance as like an example, because I just let's see, like I started, like I cleared everything out. It used to be just a straight path with the waterfalls, and I cleared that all out, and I started with doing terraforming, making cliffs, and then started to add water. And then the items are always the last for me. I always do
Mm-hmm.
paths and stuff first, and then I drop down items anywhere. So like even here, this one, like this little path to this area with the butterflies. It took me. It was empty for so long because I just had trees, and I was just like making just putting down these paths. I was like, I'm not okay with this path yet. Where it is. And before anything, like before dropping the items, I had to make sure I was okay with the path first. And then once I put the items there, I'm just like, I'm satisfied.
It's like the final touch.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of makes sense because that's how like interior design would work, right? Like you get the house looking good, and then you do the decoration.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean, we're in this campsite area, and when I was doing the tour, I was marveling at how you got everything centered and flowing so well. So you had like centered incline, centered arch, and then you have this bridge, and then the campsite, and then it's centered throughout like that. I was trying to guess if you had planned it all meticulously, or if it was like trial and error or luck.
This area is like, this area kept changing for so long. At
Mm.
first, like there was a moon there, and you went up, and there wasn't a bridge. It was just like this, the steps and the
Yeah.
art, and then the moon. And I was like, okay, cool, but I don't want this here anymore. So I got rid of it. And at first, I was like, I'm gonna put my house here. Like that'll be awesome. And then
Mm.
it doesn't line up, and I was so sad because I like moved my house and everything. And I was like, there's got to be something that lines up. And like the campsite didn't have like a home yet, really. It was just lying anywhere. And I was like, let's try this campsite here. And I was like,
Mm.
like it'd be in the middle of like a nature area, and it worked. And I was like, yes.
That's amazing. It makes so much sense as well because it's just in that secluded foresty area, as you mentioned. So
Mhm.
that's like a happy coincidence, then it seems.
Yeah, yeah. I
It
was
is
really happy it
annoying.
worked out.
Yeah, it is annoying how some things don't line up. Like I know people who try to do the inclines to the museum, and that just frustrates so many people. Um,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. Cool. So, we were talking about items. What are some of your favorite items to decorate with?
Ooh, my favorite items. Crap. I gotta think about this for a second. It's been a while. Um, what did I use the most of? I'm just trying to like think of the area. Oh, the barrels. I love the barrels.
The
But
barrels are cool.
I wish I could use log stakes. I use log stakes a lot. I just find if I'm like, oh, I don't know what to drop here, I drop the log stakes and the destination sign I've used several times, I think. But I
I
wish I could use the tall lantern more.
Oh, that's the stone one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really pretty. It's I love the kind of ancient feel it has. And I mean, since we're here, I love this abandoned area, and it felt like all the statues around were kind of remnants of old civilization. But that's my own imagination. Like, talk us through, like, what was your vision for this bit?
Yeah, so okay, this area at first started out. This was like the first area that I originally when I unlocked terraforming. I was just like, I'm just gonna put a bunch of waterfalls and open up this secret beach. And at first it was just a straight path. And then I got rid of that, and I think I did this kind of winding area,
Hmm.
and it was used to be just star fragments, and I was like, this doesn't work here. I was like, we're going to the secret beach, and like once we started like actually using the area, I was like, I want to have it fit kind of
Hmm.
like what it should be. And so I was like, oh, I'll put statues once I start getting them up at the top, because before it was just flowers up there.
Mm.
And now I'm trying to see how I can incorporate more of the pirate items in this area as well. Um,
Yeah, I saw you've got the treasure chest and the anchor and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can put like some cannons and play around with that, because I have one cannon so far. So if I can get more, then I'll like try and see what I can do with that.
Very
But
cool. Like, maybe on these cliffs.
yeah.
That'd be sick. Amazing. Um, cool. So next question. What's your favorite part of your island?
um, so okay, I think my favorite part is definitely still my entrance. I
Mm,
think
it's so stunning.
I've like it used to be like the first village area that I took you to. That used
Hmm.
to be my favorite area, and the piano area that is like by
The picnic
the
one?
others. Yeah,
That's really pretty. Yeah.
but I think my entrance is still my favorite, just because it took me a while, and like I was really happy with the outcome.
Yeah. I think it has kind of all the hallmarks of your talent. So it's got like the waterways and the waterfalls and like really interesting use of objects and stuff. So yeah, I mean that's probably my favorite as well. Um, and so you've talked about how you've redesigned areas a lot. Can
Mhm.
you do you have any advice for people who, have done quite a lot with their island, but maybe they're not quite satisfied? Like, how do you go about that?
Yeah. So yeah, back in May I did like a huge redesign thing, but like I think the area that I showed you last I almost forgot about. That actually was like probably one of the latest redesigns.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be there actually used to be like a connector, and this area, this cliff used to go all the way to the other side, and this
Mm.
area was kind of like the farm area, and then I like split that up because I just didn't like it anymore.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And um, but the only thing that really changed from it really was like, other than the cliff, was this path, like this construction of it, of the terraforming. I think I like fixed a little bit, but like honestly, it's just like clear it out. If you want to play with terraforming, like fix that up, and then start figuring out what items you want to put there. I think it's better
Mm-hmm.
if you like know what you want to replace it with. I didn't know what I wanted to replace it with for a while, so it was just empty for some days. Um, but if you
Mm-hmm.
do have like an idea of what you want to do, then first thing I would say is clear it out and start terraforming. But like always, yeah, don't do like huge areas. I make that mistake. I can't work on one area at a time most of the time. So when I started redesigning my island back in May, everything was like a mess, and I things that would probably, if I had only worked on it at the same time. It would probably have taken me a day or so to do, but because I like was working on like 5 parts of my island, it took me like a long time. So I would say
Yeah.
stay, work on one if you can. Um, but I
I
just
kn-
I just can't.
yeah, I know that feeling because sometimes I'll be really focused on a project and then I'll
Mhm.
see an item like, oh yeah, I remember I wanted to put that there, so I'll just pick that up as well. And then I'll
Yeah.
go over there and put it there and I'm like, oh, but it needs something else and yeah, it's just so easy to get distracted, isn't it?
Hmm.
Cool. So maybe yeah, let's do a lightning round. What is your favorite like non-playable characters, so like Celeste
Flick,
or Flick?
flick
I mean, I can
all the
kind of
way.
tell you have so many amazing bug models.
Flick all the way. Like I remember I was like collecting early on, and I was just like, yeah, Flick, take everything, take it all. Definitely my favorite by far. I
Yeah.
feel like if we could get models for the stuff in the water, CJ would become my favorite, but because he's not accepting the moon jellyfish, he won't be my favorite.
Mm. Yeah, because the sea creatures are
Yeah.
so much more interesting than the fish.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Maybe that'll come.
I hope.
Um, yeah, me too. Favorite villager?
Ooh, tough choice. So I've had the long for the longest time since April, I've had like Flo, Raymond, Audie, and Fauna.
Mm-hmm.
So like they're like I call them my OG group.
Oh,
And
cute.
Fauna and Raymond used to be my favorite for a long time, but like Diana is trying to like come in there and take over. And then Stitches is just it's so hard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I got Diana. I just like stumbled upon her on a mystery island, and I was like, oh, people talk a lot about her, and I need a snooty, so I'll just pick her up. And I kind of
Yeah.
thought she might be like, I don't know, a bit high maintenance or something. But she's
Yeah.
actually really sweet, isn't she?
Yes. And then she's like always with the magnifier glass. The
Yeah,
glass
she
just like
is.
she loves like the area with the statues so much, and I like it makes me so happy.
Oh, that's so cute. Cool. And decorating or terraforming? What's your preference?
Terraforming.
Yeah, I should have known. But some people are really good at terraforming, even though they don't like it. Like they have a knack for it, even though it's tedious to them. But yeah, I mean, yours takes a lot of love, so that comes through. And then lastly, any future plans for Motuni?
um, so let me see. It's like I don't have as much time as I used to have, which is sad. Um,
Yeah.
I don't do any like huge construction stuff, but I do want to like play around with like I was saying before, like the pirate set stuff
Oh
and use
yeah.
some of the cannons. So I think that would be my next project, and then maybe some there's some areas on the beach that I haven't done yet, so probably work on the beach some more, and then I guess wait until I'm tired of an area and then start to tear down like little areas. But I don't think any huge thing.
Hey, Tanya here. So, unfortunately, the connection dropped out at some point and it didn't record the rest of our interview. Luckily, this was pretty much at the end, and Shay was just explaining that, yeah, she's just gonna make some small changes going forward. And then we wandered past her resident services, and I remembered that I meant to ask her about the instruments because she has really wonderful videos on her Instagram of her villagers like hanging out and playing as a band almost. And she was saying that basically because the villagers hang out in resident services so much, if you put a number of instruments around resident services, often they will play them and others will sing. So, yeah, she has lots of them scattered around because then you can have up to like 4 villagers jamming out together. So, yeah, so that's pretty much the end of the interview. Thank you so much for listening in, and thank you to Shay for having me back. Please follow Shay on Instagram at Shay Crossing, Shay Crossing. And tune in next time for another tour and creator insights. Bye, guys.